future events, please provide your email address to Kathy Hevers or Robert Bynum. Please raise your hand so that people know who you are. And today's topic is free and fun things to do here in Montrose starting from May 2nd on through the summer. And the speaking order will be Jodine Broscovak, the president of the board of the directors for Montrose Center for the Arts. Stoney Field, Montrose County Fairgrounds Events Coordinator. Alexis Foran, City of Montrose Community Events Coordinator. Dave Bowman, Montrose Mayor and Coordinator of the Montrose Summer Music Series. And Barbara Bynum, Montrose City Councilwoman and Foran Facilitator. After all of the speakers share, then we're going to have a question and answer session. So let's go ahead and take it away, starting with Jodine Broscovak.
Hello on this wet first day of May. Thank you all for being here. Although we've been introduced before at a prior presentation here at the forum, the Montrose Center for the Arts appreciates the opportunity to share with you what we've been doing and what we are going to do. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, as a recap, MCA began in June of 2015. Actually, we became our 501c3 nonprofit in November of 2016. The first year, we concentrated on constructing the foundation of our organization. Then we began to focus on the exposure to our organization. From the beginning, we had our eye on creating an art center. We all agreed that Montrose needed a cultural space, especially in the visual arts. The first year, the Montrose Community Foundation stepped up to help us get started as our fiscal sponsor. Our first outreach activity was the Heartbox Project. Here you see residents of Homestead House working along with MCA members to decorate shoeboxes. They are then filled with art supplies and provided to children from organizations such as Partners, Haven House, CASA, Hilltop, and the Dolphin House, and others. At the Funk Fest in 2016, we joined the Office of Business and Tourism and provided fun activities for the kids. They especially loved painting the kayak. The next we had was a charity event. We accepted citizen entries, creating friendly competition with uniquely painted chairs. And we managed to raise a few dollars for MCA also. Beyond the Story was a book art event and literary event. We enlisted artists and authors to present their talents. Then we answered a call for help. The artists from MCA and our art partner, the Montrose Visual Arts Guild, climbed ladders and painted the stage background for Magic Circle Theater. Put Your Best Foot Forward was another community art competition. We had several pop-up galleries this past year for the lack of space of our own, and this particular image illustrates the drastic need that we had for adequate gallery space. The Plein Air Festival in July of 2018 brought regional and out-of-state artists, and during the weekend public art exhibit, we had visitors from 16 other states visiting the show. We also had a quick draw at Farmers Market, which attracted both youth and adult painters. Then during that week, we had a painting demonstration by national artist Frank Francis. This brought an audience that had 50% of non-artists, proving that there are art lovers as well. Montrose knows that you don't have to be an artist to experience and learn from the world of art. Classes for kids. This group is a group of children from partners, and when they came into the class, they did not know that they could paint, but when they left, they were budding artists. During the group critique in this class, it was not only enlightening, but surprising and also delightful to hear these kids' interpretations of each other's work. Adults have fun too in art. It's not always serious and academic. These people were experimenting with alcohol ink, along with a little alcohol on the side, a glass of wine. On a more serious note, reinvesting in the community is important to MCA. We have, this year, we've instituted an art program for children from Haven House and partners. The Montrose School District Art Show is going on right now. In fact, last night we had the reception. We had about 300 people come through. The Mesa University Student Art Camp will be held at our facility next month. And then in the fall, the student internship is on the program or being planned in collaboration with Montrose High School. Our art classes, activities, and general information can be found on our website at mc4arts.net. We are a 100% volunteer organization and depend on the community support with memberships, donations, grants, and fundraisers. A while back, some called us dreamers. Well, we believe good things can come from dreams. We had a vision with a mission to create a space to promote the excellence of all art forms in the city of Montrose. At last, we have our space, a physical location and art destination for all, to include rentable space for both public and private needs. We have a gift shop, a classroom, a conference room, a gallery, and I might add right here that these walls are rentable walls for artists to display their work. They rent the walls a month at a time for a 3-month block, and then the artwork is alternated. Not shown is the main gallery and kitchen, which is equipped to meet any catering needs for larger events, and also we have 3 offices, one of which is still available to rent. Our upcoming events are, we have, most importantly of all, is our grand opening this coming Saturday, just in a few days. We hope you all will come and join in and help us celebrate. From 4 to 8, Saturday afternoon, May 4th. In the fall, in September, we have Murder in Buffalo Chip. A mystery dinner theater is scheduled for the Pavilion. Hope we mark your calendar from September 28th. And then we're going to have, in coordination with that, a month-long Western art exhibit. And then later in the fall, in November, we're bringing Bowman back to Montrose. He's a jazz pianist and will be performing at the Methodist Church. Well, that's about it. You have seen a summary of MCA's highlights, a challenge that has been met, and with the help from our community, we've just begun. Thank you.
have Stoney Field, Montrose County Fairgrounds Events Coordinator.
Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by thanking all of you for showing up, taking a little bit of time this morning and hearing all of us out. The biggest thing that I'm here for is to announce our fair. It's 133 years this year for the Montrose County Fair and Rodeo. It's going to be July 22nd through the 27th. That's a Monday through Saturday. That previous weekend, we're going to have a horse show, the 4-H horse show, as well as the dog show, and that's going to be going on in the event center. So all of the 4-H kids currently are getting all of their animals ready for our fair. The 22nd will be Monday, and that's when all the animals actually come into the fairgrounds. So all the kids are going to be bringing their animals in, weighing them in, registering them, and then that evening at 7 o'clock we're going to have a parade downtown. So we welcome you all to come down and see the parade. It's going to have a bunch of entries from the kids. They're going to have their own floats. There's going to be a number of our sponsors and the general public. So if you have a float that you want to build through your organization, feel free to contact me and we'll be happy to set you up in the parade as well. Tuesday is the first day that we're going to actually have some of the small shows start. Those are going to be like the poultry, rabbits, a few of the smaller animals. Then that evening is our community night. And that's a pretty common event. We've had upwards of 1,500 people show up for that, and it's a free barbecue. Then we have a number of different events that go in on that evening in the arena, from mutton busting to calf dressing. We'll have a number of different speakers that go on and explain exactly what we're doing there. And it's a time for the community to come out for a free event and have some good barbecue, as well as hang out with the rest of the people. Wednesday goes into some more of our shows. The sheep show, goat show go on that day. Thursday is swine, or the pig show, if that's what you're familiar with. So a ton of folks come down for that in the evenings. Thursday is our beef show, and that is a super well attended event in the evening. Friday, the kids are basically off. They've shown most of their animals. We do have a round robin event that goes on during that morning. We're in some negotiations as far as the events that's going to go on that evening. Saturday is really a super packed day. We start out with we start out the day with our livestock show that comes on, or livestock sale, the auction. That's where the kids reap all the benefits from all the hard work that they've done. They bring their animals in and are able to sell them to the public. We last year did a little over $370,000 at that livestock sale. That same time we're going to have the fiddle contest, and that is a super well attended event. There's normally more than 400 people there. This will be the first year that the fiddle contest is actually in the event center. So normally we have it in the hall, and we arrange some chairs, and it's quite busy in there. So this time the fiddle contest is going to be at the event center. We're going to have a lot better acoustics for them, a lot better seating for the public to be able to watch them go on. And then that evening is our CPRA, which stands for the Colorado Professional Rodeo Association. And that is going to be our big rodeo. Last year we were over 2,000 people in attendance, one of the biggest rodeos in the state of Colorado for the CPRA. In fact, last year was the second year that we were voted the most improved rodeo in the CPRA for Colorado. Yes, our fair rodeo committee has done a phenomenal job. One of the highlights with that is, at the event center this year in October, we have gotten the CPRA finals. That means the accumulation of all the rodeos, the top 12 competitors in each of their respective events. There's a finals, and we as Montrose Event Center have gotten that this year. It'll be the first year we've had it. It's been in Grand Junction a couple of times. Recently it's been on the Front Range in Denver. The last 2 years was in Colorado Springs. And we were able to get that event, and to tell you the truth, we hope to keep it for a number of years. It's a huge event. It's going to bring over 200 competitors from all over the state. They're here for 3 days, so we're going to be able to welcome them. it's a literal state championship. So we're super proud to host that. That evening, Saturday evening after the rodeo, normally we've tried to run concerts through the Fair Board. We've had Emerson Drive here in 2017, we had Claire Dunn here in 2018, and this year the Fair Board realized that we're not concert promoters. That's just the truth of the matter. And Emily actually told me this morning of another group that's coming in, and that summer for about 6 weeks is huge. I mean, you have everyone from Charlie Daniels to Gary Allen to Leanne Rhymes all on the western slope. And so we've realized as the Fair Board that's not something that we need to compete with. We just need to give people a good place to hang out and dance. So what they're going to do is we've hired Gary Russell. If any of you went to the Ned Ledoux concert that we had here in February, he was the opening act for that and was super well received. He's a gentleman out of Grand Junction. He actually is himself and 2 other guys, so it's a small band, but he does everything from Johnny Cash to Chris Stapleton. You're going to hear a wide range of music. So after the rodeo that night, you'll be able to go over to the event center, and it's going to be an open dance. We consider it a mini concert because he's not a big name artist that's coming into town, but he's super talented and puts on a great show. So that day is, as you can see, we're starting first thing in the morning and we're going till 10, 11 o'clock that night. So it's going to be a super filled day. Sunday for the fair is really just cleanup for us. The kids are all getting all of their animals out of there. We're tearing down the things that are, as far as the vendors and everything that's going on there. During the week, we'll have everything from local musicians, Donnie Morales and Rusty Waters, a couple of those guys who are going to be on the live free stage. We also have some magicians, plenty of kids shows, kids crafts and different little contests that go on. I'm sure you all have heard about our bacon eating contest. That's one of the one that's well attended. So we have a ton of different events that are going on during the week all day long. So if you can't come out anytime during the week, we obviously have some of our paid events on the weekends that are commonplace and the solid anchors to our fair. This year's theme is Where I Came From, and whenever we do the themes, that's always put out to the public, and we get tons of responses, and then the Fair Board usually picks the theme that they feel like best fits the fair for that year. I'm sorry that I made this pretty short. We've got a lot of things going on. It's a year-round project to get the fair here. We'd love to see all of you out here. The folks with the Art Guild, I'm going to tap them to see if we can get a couple of judges for our art show this year. And we just hope to have you guys come out and see us. And once again, thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexis Foran. I am the Community Events Coordinator for the City of Montrose, which is a brand new position. The forward-thinking City of Montrose realizes that there was a need for someone to foster and facilitate the events that we currently have, such as Earth Week, we just celebrated it, the 4th of July Parade and fireworks, the Funk Fest, now in its 5th year, the Parade of Lights. But not just those events, also to create new events and new experiences, and to have fun doing so. And so, welcome. We're gonna have fun. I also have an event staff that's seasonal. Guys, would you please stand up? This is Mike McPhee, Derek Hawkins, and Jerry Jones. And this is the face of fun. They're gonna basically be assisting in making sure that all of these new experiences that you'll be having and our favorites are going to run smoothly and leave you wanting more. So thank you guys very much, and I'm so excited to work with you. So all this talk about fun, when does it start? Well, tomorrow. The community block party in front of the Montrose Visitor Center. So it will be happening from 4 p.m. to 7:30. Food trucks, a beer garden courtesy of the Montrose Rotary Club, bounce houses, face painting, street performers. It's basically fun for the whole family to say thank God winter's over. Let's come out of hibernation. Let's go down to the Visitor Center and have fun. Again, that's 4 p.m. to 7:30 tomorrow. Don't do that. There we go. Also, I'd like to introduce you to the first annual Motown Showdown, which is Montrose's Yard of the Month contest. It starts today, and it will be running for the next 5 months until September 30th. What's the Motown Showdown? Well, it's Montrose's way of awarding you for all of that hard work you put into your yard work by giving you $50 in Montrose bucks, your face and beautiful property prominently displayed in the Montrose Daily Press, as well as a beautiful sign, I don't need it, as well as a beautiful sign to have in your yard letting everybody know that you have the Yard of the Month. That starts today. Please keep an eye out on the city website as well as your utility bills, where you will have more information on all the rules and how you can enter. Thanks, Chelsea. Coming to a park near you, the City of Montrose proudly presents Movies in the Park. We will be coming to your neighborhood park. So all you have to do is grab a lawn chair, grab your neighbor, come hang out in the park. We will be bringing you a family fun event, free, totally free of charge. This summer we will be having 3. I encourage you to check the City of Montrose website for details. It will gain steam. It is our hope to find you in your neighborhood, no matter where it is. So should we skip out on you this summer, don't feel bad, we'll get to you. That's okay. Thanks. After that, we have, in June 27th, we will be hosting, with a collaboration with Montrose Police Department, an open house. Bring your kiddos out, get to know those first responders that are in our community with Got What It Takes. We'll have an obstacle course, a rock climbing wall, just a good chance, an open house at the police department. It's just a good chance to have all of our kiddos meet all those people that make our community what it is. That's June 27th. After that, we're going to move into the 4th of July. 4th of July is going to be a little bit different this year. Let's face it, after 243 years, it needed a facelift. We're going to be moving the parade into the later evening, followed promptly with a picnic in the park. And that in Cerise Park, where we want you to grab a picnic blanket, your favorite food. There will be fun backyard games. Sorry, I'm not nervous, you are. We'll also have music. There's going to be an apple pie eating contest, which is truly the most American thing I've ever said in my life. And this is all leading up to the fireworks display. This will be in Cerise Park the evening of the 4th of July. So on that weird time where you didn't know what to do with yourself between the parade and the fireworks, I usually watch a Twilight Zone marathon. Come instead, free up your morning, in the evening hours, and you will enjoy a fun and smooth 4th of July. Which leads me to the 5th annual Funk Fest. Now, if you don't know what the Funk Fest is, FUNK stands for Fun on the Uncompahgre. The Funk Fest is now in its 5th year. It's a 2-day event this year. The first evening is Friday, August 9th. We will be having live music, a tribute band all the way from Boston. I can say Boston because I'm from that area. It's a Bon Jovi tribute band called Living on a Bad Name. We will have food trucks and beer and camping, which is new. This is really for the whitewater enthusiasts to come over, relax, and for the whole community to just listen to some good music down at the park. The event itself is happening on Saturday, August 10th, with our whitewater competitions. There's fun on land too, so please don't be deterred if you don't feel like getting wet. Again, I'm not nervous, you are. And we will be closing out the evening with a Paisley Park Prince tribute band, because that's pretty funky. Throughout the day, we'll also have live music. I encourage you to go to coloradofunkfest.com if you want to see a lineup of the tribute bands, as well as a list of the events. It's fun for the entire family. And lastly, we have, well, not lastly, I wish I could say lastly, but there's just too much and not enough time. We have Scoot and Skate. It's a family fun skate night down at River Bottom at the skating rink. There will be a DJ, games, prizes, chicken dance, obviously, that's a staple if you're on roller skates. Also, we'll have food vendors and special appearances from local skating pros, kind of the Harlem Globetrotters roller skaters will be down there, so it's going to be a good one. That is going to be happening Friday, August 23rd, and that will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And wait, there's always more, because this is Montrose, and we have just so many events that are constantly coming. So between now and some of these events, you'll even find out that there's more to do. And don't worry, I will make sure that you all find out about this. I will be here afterwards, and you can... I am so not nervous. All right, so this weekend on Saturday, we have the Cinco de Mayo Parade and Celebration that's going to be happening downtown. It starts at 10 a.m., and I encourage you to go out and support it. It's a fun event. We also have on June 8th a very crazy busy weekend. The Black Canyon Classic Car Show will be happening downtown. Wrap yourself around the corner to Cascade, and you'll find yourself in the midst of many beautiful Airstreams. The Colorado Airstream Club will be hosting their Montrose Urban Rally. June 8th, between 10 and 12 p.m., you can go be a little nosy and go into their open house of all their Airstreams. It's going to be awesome. There's also, for you history buffs, a Butch Cassidy plaque dedication down at the Montrose Historical Jail on June 8th. And please join us in Centennial Plaza, June 14th, for a Flag Day luncheon with the ROTC Color Guard and a proclamation. That will be between 11 and 1 p.m. So I enjoyed talking this morning, but I probably will go hide in the corner now. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Well, good morning. I'm Dave Bowman. I'll start with my first hat. I'm the mayor of Montrose. It's a pleasure to be doing that. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. And my next hat is the founder, creator of the Montrose Summer Music Series. And I promise there will be no computer glitches during this presentation because I'm way too old school for the computer. I got posters, all right? So, actually, concert season in Montrose starts May 10th. Coming right up, BOA is bringing in a charity show with a great lady, Hazel Miller from Denver, one of the most outstanding R&B singers in Denver, and she'll be accompanied with Chris Daniels and the Kings. Chris has been here several different times. He's played Funk Fest. He's played the Montrose Summer Music Series. He actually did a chamber event, I think, longer ago than I want to admit. But from there, let me mention the Pocket Park. Many of you have been to our series that this year DART will be sponsoring along with Colorado Boy. It's a free event on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays, June, July, and August. We're lining up the bands right now. One of the bands I'm sure we'll have is Gotta Be. I see a lot of Gotta Be fans here, so we'll make sure everybody knows when that date is. We'll have free hot dogs sponsored by Cherry Creek Radio. Colorado Boy will be sponsoring the beer, and we sell our beer for $5 a cup in hopes that we'll sell 60 cups of beer so we can pay the band. That's sort of how it works. It's a very family-friendly event. It's from 5 to 8, the 2nd and 4th Tuesday, June, July, and August. And I guess the thing that I'm most proud of is the Montrose Summer Music Series. We're back. It's the first Friday, June, July, August, and September. Here's the first poster for it. And I think what's the most important thing about this poster is to look at all the sponsors. We raise about $40,000 a summer to put this event on, and it's because of all these sponsors. And if you look at it, the governments are involved, but they're not the main guys. We have lots of mom and pop businesses from across the city that give us funds so we can make this a free event. These posters will be going up in the next couple days. Banners will come up this weekend. The lineup is June 7th. Groovement, who played Funk Fest last summer, will be our headliner. They're a funky band with a trumpet in it from Fayetteville, Arkansas. The opener I'm really excited about is a group called Peachy. It's a trio from Vanderbilt University featuring a young man named Jeremy Trujillo that graduated from Montrose High School several years ago, and I think he's going into his junior or senior year at Vanderbilt. So we send our kids all across the nation to some of the finest colleges in the world, and Jeremy is so excited about coming back to his hometown and playing for the hometown crowd. So if you can get out, the warm-up starts about 6 o'clock. The headliner comes on at 7:30. The show is broadcast and streamed by KVNF, and KVNF will be opening their new studio sometime toward the end of May, early June, and they plan on throwing a street dance on Cascade. We just learned about that yesterday, so that's hot off the presses. July 5th, for the 4th of July weekend, we have Mason Lively, a young country artist out of San Marcos, Texas. He'll bring in his band up to do our country show. DMG Railroad, Donnie Morales and Glenn Patterson and friends will be the warm-up act for that. August 2nd is going to be a big, big weekend for us. August 2nd, we'll have a great band out of called Southern Avenue out of Memphis, Tennessee, with the Brown family warming up. And then on Saturday is the Corn Festival. I think you're all aware that the Olathe Corn Festival has moved to the Event Center. So we've got a concert, a free concert Friday night from the Montrose Summer Music Series. We have a ticketed show on Saturday, a la the Corn Festival. There'll be the free corn in the afternoon. So there's going to be 2 weekends in August where we have music, both Friday, Saturday night, great events. We're really trying to pack them into Montrose this summer, and we're just delighted. The Montrose Summer Music Series is going to partner with the Olathe Corn Festival on the advertising so that we get the word out locally, we get the word out statewide. If you have relatives coming sometime this summer, August 2nd and 3rd is going to be a great weekend to come and experience Montrose. And of course then the next weekend is Funk Fest. Again, another 2-day event in hopes of bringing in more and more people to Montrose so they can experience the Montrose experience. Our final show of the summer series will be on September 6th, and we're bringing in a band out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, called Felix y los Gatos. And it'll be a Tex-Mex band with a little bit of blues. They sort of call themselves Nuevo Mexico music. So it's going to be a very, very diverse show, and hope everybody gets out for that. And again, all those Montrose Summer Music Series shows are free. A couple other things I'd like to mention. For all you Dave Stoney fans, he's coming back July 18th. It's a Thursday night at the Elks. If you happen to see Dave there 2 years ago, I sort of apologize for some of the crowd that was there. It was a little noisy. That won't happen this year. We'll close the door on that part of the bar at the Elks. There will be a bar open, but it will be a very enjoyable evening of the finest cowboy music in the United States. If you're not familiar with Dave, if you remember the song Bones of Benny Gray, that was Dave's song. He's been honored many, many times as Entertainer of the Year, Male Vocalist of the Year for the Western Music Society. You may not know that there's a Western Music Society or association that gives out awards, but Dave has won that many, many times. And he's just, if you like good folk acoustic music with sort of a cowboy theme, you want to know about Dave Stoney. Tickets are $25. It's not a free show. Tickets are at the Elks or online at Brown Paper Tickets. Talk to me and I can give you some of the more information. The Bridges always have their wonderful fundraising concerts for Dolphin House and the Montrose Community Foundation. The headliner this year is the Little River Band. Looking at this crowd, you might remember them. They had a lot of hits in the 70s. So that's going to be a fun night. There's a general admission ticket price. There's a VIP price. If you're interested in VIP, you probably ought to get out to the Bridges very soon because that always sells out. But that's just a great fundraising event to help nonprofits all across Montrose. And the last thing I do want to mention, the headliner for the Olathe Sweet Corn Festival is Craig Campbell, again, a country artist, and that's just always a great event. So that's my story for this morning. Get out, experience Montrose. We have so much fine music. Make sure you catch some of the local bands at the Funk Fest. The music starts about 2 o'clock on Saturday. It starts about 5:30 on Friday. Just going to be a fun summer. So I thank everybody in Montrose that supports these events, supports the city events. I'll see you out in the grass this summer. Thanks.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Oh, I can add on some battery. Right as Dave finished. How about this one? How about this one? You know, some days technology, it just gets you. And today is one of those days. Because it seems like not one single piece of equipment has gone right today. So, well, Lori changed it. I'm Barbara Bynum. I'm one of the facilitators for the forum. And then I am also the mayor pro tem, which means I get to back up Dave Bowman anytime he's not available to do mayoral duties. And my role this morning was to kind of wrap up the different events and make sure that we, still not working, and make sure that we let you know that we really tried this morning to focus on all the free things that are going on around town, but obviously you weren't able to write them all down or to make notes. So I wanted to make sure that you knew about the Montrose Visitor Center website. Visit montrose.com. There's an events tab on that website, and anyone who has an event can submit their event to be posted there. So anyone who's done that with their event will find it on that website. I want to also encourage you to consider a couple more events this summer. Youth Appreciation Day. If you've got grandkids in the area, it's perfect for little kids. And that's the Saturday before school starts in August. And I also want to point you towards some of the paid, I hear Sam. Thank you so much. I also want to point you towards some of the paid events that are going on around town. There's so many that we couldn't begin to include all of them this morning, and we were really afraid if we tried, we'd leave someone's organization out. That being said, I do want to point out that CASA, who has been such a great host to us here, has a really big event coming up on May 11th. And it is their Spark Conference, and it's an all-day conference, and there's some posters around the building that can tell you about that, which is a ticketed event. But there's lots more ticketed events around town, lots of organizations putting together worthy programs, raising money for their organizations, and hopefully you are going to leave today with a feeling of, wow, I didn't realize there was so much to do this summer, and hopefully you're really excited and looking forward to it. So I'm going to give the mic back to Lori. She's got one that works, and she'll do some Q&A if you guys have any questions for any of our speakers this morning, kind of to follow up on their areas and their events. Thanks.
So I used to live in Steamboat Springs, and that town in the summertime was rife with all kinds of special events. One of the things that they really made sure they did a good job on was to coordinate with the lodging community. And as we grow in advance, I was just wondering if there's any effort to work with the lodging community to make sure that we have enough bed spaces.
Well, I can just tell you that from the city's point of view, we have a couple of different committees that work and talk about things like this. Chelsea could tell you that the DART committee talks about events and promotions. Also, we have a tourism and retail committee, and we get together, and there's someone from lodging on that committee, someone from retail, the city, and we talk about the overall calendar. Last year, our new assistant city manager, and Morgan Thaler organized a big community meeting where a bunch of different people who have events were in the room. So we do our best as a community, I think, to really coordinate events. That being said, you can't just reserve an entire weekend for one event. So there's always going to be overlaps,
We do know as a community we're a little short on hotel rooms in the summer, but we have a lot of open hotel rooms in the winter. So it's really a balance for our community when it comes to hotel rooms.
One other event that we didn't mention, it's not a musical event, excuse me, but it's an annual event, and it's called National Peace Officers Week. And that begins May 12th and runs through May 18th. The city and the county are coming together, as we always do on that week, for a special event at Centennial Plaza to honor our peace officers in the city and the county, and to commemorate those that we've lost. So I hope you'll all come out on May 15th, 10 o'clock, for a beautiful ceremony to make sure that our peace officers in the city and the county know how much we appreciate what they do to keep us safe. Thanks.
Dave, while you have the mic.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned the pocket park.
Yes.
And some people may not be familiar with that. Would you explain where it is, how it came to be, and you're using that every Tuesday and Thursday, right?
Every second Tuesday in June, July, and August. We can't do the first and third because I do something called city council on that night. So when I'm not doing city council on Tuesday, we do the pocket park. And the pocket park is on Main Street on the north side between San Juan Construction and what used to be Brown Shoe Fit, for those that have been here that long. It's now a martial arts facility, but it's basically right across the street from Wells Fargo. So it's a beautiful, beautiful park. It's lighted. We'll have porta potties. We have a stage, courtesy of the Public Works Department. And we try to pretty much keep the music more on the acoustic side, because it is called Acoustic Tuesday. Thanks.
Any other questions?
I just want to ask about the volume of some of these events. I live almost a mile from Ceres Park, and sometimes I hear the concert through the walls of my house. And I personally, if I hear an event that loud, I'm headed the other direction. And I think a lot of people with hearing aids and things like that are also, I don't know why there's this school of the louder, the better.
Well, it's a very diverse group. You know, at any of our concerts, particularly the free ones, we have everything from babies to older people. And we do the best we can to make sure that the sound in the park is adequate. But on a clear night in Colorado, sound travels. It's really amazing. I mean, I live clear over by the Black Canyon Golf Course. I can hear the noontime announcements at Centennial. I can hear the marching band from Montrose High School. None of those are particularly amplified. Sound does carry. Come to our event and judge the sound at the event, not necessarily what a clear Colorado night might allow.
This isn't a question, just a comment. We just handed out the Visit Montrose new guide that just came out, and so hopefully you'll enjoy that, but it talks a lot about how to get into events, learn more about it, kind of like what Barbara was talking about, and it's also just a great resource on how to get out and enjoy your community, and a way to perhaps help others enjoy the community. So it's something that a lot of people put a lot of work into, and I just wanted to say thanks for taking one, and we hope that you enjoy it.
Another question that nobody else does, and it's probably for OBT. Have you done any studies, or can you comment on how many people we bring in now that we're doing a lot more in our community? Maybe Stoney knows attendance at the fair. Are we seeing the outsiders come to Montrose?
Excuse me. Just for basic reference, the event center, I know that we've just finished, on the 27th of April was our full calendar year. And we've put close to 40,000 people through that building in that amount of time, on a fairly limited schedule. The events that we have this year, I mean, we have some that have believed in what we did. They had a successful event, and so they're coming back, and we are truly not only making calls out, but getting calls in for people who are interested in putting events in. As far as actual numbers of attendees, I mean, our fair will bring around an average of 12 to 1,500 people a day through the doors. Obviously, as I said, at the rodeo, we were a little over 2,000 for that single event. Truthfully, for the fair, the majority of the folks are local. They're within the county, unless it was a rodeo or the concert where they may have driven up from Grand Junction and some of those things. I know that some of our events that we're having at the event center, for example, the CPRA, there's 200 plus competitors and their families that are going to be here for 3 days. So there's some direct impact numbers that I think if you look them up, they're all over the board. I mean, whatever formula you decide to pick is the number that it's going to be. I mean, there's just varying mindsets as far as how much that each of those dollars actually come into the community. That's based on population size, it's based on median income, and a few of those type of things. But for a general number for us, like I said, we're looking at just shy of 40,000 people that have been through the event center in the last calendar year.
Thanks, and I can only speak to Funkfest. I know that Funkfest has been growing and receiving a lot of attention from our own community and from outside of our community. And every other year we've been tracking those numbers, and we are on par to set about 5,000 visitors to Montrose for the Funkfest event alone. So I hope that helps, and thanks.
This question is for Emily and Stoney. I know you all aren't concert promoters, and I know the hassle behind concert promoting. We happened to go last Friday up to Grand Junction and see Styx at the Avalon, which was an awesome show for a bunch of old people like us. But it was sold out. I don't know what the theater holds, 1,500 maybe, I would guess. I think we paid $45 for a ticket. I just visioned somewhere down the road that Montrose would be able to attract 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 people without you guys losing money, and actually bringing some of those older acts, whether it be Styx. We saw Chicago when we lived in Casper. It was an awesome show. I mean, some of those, I have to believe, can be hopefully money-making for Montrose and the Event Center. Do you see that in the future at all?
You know, so I'm Emily Sanchez. I'm your Fairgrounds and Event Center Director. I do see concerts in our future. I think what Stoney was referring to is this summer is a super busy time for concerts. There's a lot of competition between Grand Junction and the Western Slope for your dollars to come to those events. So we want to be smart about it. You know, we want to do it in the off-season where potentially we are filling hotel rooms, and where people are bored, you know, they're ready to come inside for a good show. We do have some building issues to figure out in regards to flying lights and sound. And so that's where we're looking at some of the smaller artists like Ned Ledoux. We did get 2,000 people to the Ned Ledoux concert. We did actually make a little money, so we were super proud. And we are working on a 2020 artist to come back about that same time. So it's not that we don't want to do it, but we just want to be super smart about it.
Any other questions?
So what's going on with those beautiful artwork that we have downtown that kind of is almost a trademark of Montrose, the beautiful statues we have?
Is Bob here?
He's over there in the corner.
There's the man.
Hello. I'll give you an update of where we are. The fundraising program that we did on the public side was very successful. We were able to, in 2 years, pull in $131,000. Thank you all for that. A lot of it came out of this room, I'm sure. The DDA has thrown in a contribution of $29,000, making that total $160,000. We are faced with an offer, though, of $250,000. That's the standing offer now. So I've asked the city and the city council to take over that negotiation that is underway. Certainly we couldn't talk about it while it's underway, but we're hoping that we can pull off a negotiation between the city and the owners of the statues so that we can get them here in perpetuity. They are iconic, they really are, and I think that we need to do it. We've talked a lot this morning about entertainment that comes and entertainment that goes. We enjoy it while it's here, and then we have to look for another program to do that. These two sculptures are going to be here every day. They will be here every day for the foreseeable future. And I think that it's also a very important element of bringing people to town. We ran a program of not only raising the money, but we had petitions. And again, many of you signed those petitions as support. My recollection was in that process, we were turned down on asking for a supporting signature about 6 times. Otherwise, 1,150 people did sign and did support that. So I think it shows the community support for it. And many of those people that did sign were not in Montrose, that there were tourists, or there were people looking at Montrose as a place to come. They commented on at that time that the statues had a profound effect on them. Statues don't play guitar, they don't sing and dance, but they are in front of people every day, and they are very large impact kind of pieces of art. We have many, many pieces of art up and down the street. If I could go on a little bit further, with the PAX group has put those in. I stole all the PAX board members to work on my committee, which my wife and I are also on that committee. But we're going to get active again and start a new program this year of bringing in lone sculptures to put on the corners. And I think the big sculptures are an anchor to that. It would be a shame, in my opinion, that they go away. City Council want to comment?
No.
Fair enough.
And I sort of feel like I'm playing Jack in the Box here.
Laura, sit down. Laura.
I just wanted to mention the tribute to aviation, which is supposedly September the 15th. And last year we had between 18 and 20,000 people in a 2-day event in Montrose. And so we've got, I don't know the last count of the airplanes that are already scheduled to come in, but there's a number of them. And I'm told that the B-17 bomber will be here. And all of that's subject to change, as you know, but that's what we're doing in September, so thank you.
And I do want to mention, I'm sure most of you are aware that the city has been working for a couple years now to develop an amphitheater at Cerise Park to complement our indoor facility at the event center. We're going to have a big stage down at Cerise Park, and to answer the question about larger bands, when we have a larger stage, that becomes much more possible as an outdoor event. So we're hoping that the amphitheater goes online by 2021.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for this morning. And Barbara Bryan is going to announce. Okay, what's happening next week?
The question came up last week about opportunity zones, and we said, I think, Tom, you asked that question, Next week's program is an update on opportunity zones, and we'll give you some information in the email explaining how that it's part of the 2017 tax revision, and we're going to explain in the email the impact that had nationally, but especially here in Montrose. And it's very interesting. It's a very interesting opportunity, I guess, for Montrose. So come next week, watch your email. We'll give you more information about it then. Thanks for coming.